Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you pretty much how, I'll be explaining more on texture tools, going more in depth with them, such as no draw and no draw metal, clip, which is both player and regular, which is clip, Skybox, which I've already covered some I think in my other tutorials, but I'll be covering a little more in this, and then invisible, stuff I like to use on certain objects, which I'll explain that later, and then trigger, ladder, and blocking bullets, which you should already know what blocking bullets is, just more brief. Alright, so now we're in Hammer. This is for any game that pretty much runs on, you can use Hammer to make a map in, and if you can tell I've already got a map pretty much started here. It's a map I'm going to be releasing here in maybe about a few weeks, or at least a week. As you can tell, I still need to add some details in there. But anyway, if you notice, everywhere you look inside here, you're seeing all these texture tools, which will help out the gameplay of this map. And pretty much everything is pretty much used in here. Not everything, I mean like a lot of different tools, different variety of tools. It's just all over the place in here. And they will all help my map look or play a little nicer than what normal ones. If you didn't put them in, there'd be too many glitches. So anyway, so to start off on no draw. No draw is used for certain things like ladders. Like it pretty much is. It's just a texture that it's invisible in the game, and so is ladder, but it also makes for easy compiling, and you can use it for like buttons such as like a radio, or in this case for me it's the Bible, because this is going to be a haunted house, which ties in with the triggers. Anyway, so what you can do is you can pretty much do a lot of stuff with the no draw tool. In this instance, I was using invisible for my Bible, but usually I use it. I usually use invisible, but a lot of times I use no draw. Anyway, so no draw metal is for such as like if you're gonna make like a certain type of door frame that does not pop out, because if you notice I make my custom door frames, I don't just put an overlay on, I actually just make it myself. So like if I wasn't gonna make this pop out, and I'd probably, I had a metal door or something like that, or some, I don't know really, but all I know is that a lot of door frames, yeah, you want to use on door frames, no draw metal, because if it's a metal door frame, you want to use that. It is pretty much, it makes it a metal, it'll make a metal sound and everything. It makes it easier for that. Okay, so then next, I'll pretty much show you on the clips, player clip and regular clip. So the regular clip is what I use so that so the survivors don't get stuck. One sec. So yeah, so like survivors and special infected don't get stuck in, actually yeah, like the bots and everything don't get stuck in a certain area. It makes for a lot smoother navigating around the map, so you don't get like caught. Like here, I don't want things to get caught right there, so I just put a clip in there, which I'm going to add another one right there. That will force them out. Right there, it'll just make them slide out a little easier. Right there, they'll just slide across the thing. Probably gonna make one right there a little bit, but it's so like, if you ever notice that like when you're making maps, some infected or bots will get stuck right there. If you put one of these in there, they'll just slide right out and back up the stairs and keep chasing you. That, like door frames is exactly what you need to do. You need to put those on door frames always. And also, like if you're gonna make like an overlay door frame, they're really good for that because it can make it like a little more realistic. But I like to use just regular. And also in like really hard like spots, like any spot that anyone can get stuck in, clip is a very good tool for that. Now, Now on to player clip, which I put that around my map. If you have any place where a survivor can, like if you want to keep them all in one area, or any way that they can glitch, like let's say, like if I didn't put this here, the survivor can run up the truck and then jump right out of the map and start roaming in an area I don't want them to be in. So I block it off by a player clip. Player clip only blocks the player and not the zombies. The zombies can go right through. Which that makes it easier, because if you put like a regular clip there, the infected are going to try going across, but they can't because this is going to be blocking their path. And so I use a player clip that only blocks players out, the survivors, and it makes a lot better map navigation. Now, the whole thing with no draw again, I meant to cover this earlier. I also use on top of fences like this, like that have like an invisible area above it, because otherwise, if they look up, they're gonna see a fence thing, and I don't want them to see that. So I just use that, and it's like boom. So anyway, now since I've covered player clip, also if you're making a versus map, that's player clip is a huge thing in there, because if you want to make like a certain area that survivors cannot get to, but special infected can like jump out of it, like pipes, like in Death Toll, the second map. That's a very useful tool. Now, another very useful tool is invisible. Invisible is a very useful tool. It pretty much, you can go right through it. At least from my experiences, I have found the ability to go right through the player clip, or the invisible. And it's good for like if you want to have the object be like a dominant over the brush, because like no draw, you can step on the no draw texture, but unlike no draw, you can actually step on the object and like touch the object without having this weird gap in between your feet and if you want to jump on top of an object that is a like button or something like that, invisible is a great tool to use. I use it all the time. And also you can have it touching the wall and everything, and it won't make it it won't put like a random hole in it. Like I have noticed that with no draw, if you have it like going through or accidentally going through the floor, it'll actually make like a block where you can see where it is. So anyway, so now I have covered that. Next one is Skybox. Skybox, a very useful tool. It pretty much blocks out that really annoying black, or the really annoying like mirror glitching texture that you see outside of the map when you first compile it. If you compile it with no Skybox, you will see like wherever you move, like it'll just kind of like spread. Like you'll see your gun, like it'll just glitch. It's pretty much you can see yourself or your gun like where you were once, and it's a mess. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've done it. Another very useful tool, actually, since I've already covered that, you guys should already know most about it. Also, by the way, you can change it by going to map properties, and then you should see everything get highlighted, and then you can change world is cold if you want to make it cold, which I'm going to do that. Add a yes in there. Skybox texture name, you can change it, but there's a whole thing. I will include the link in the description of a list of skyboxes. Only HDRs will work, and try to keep away from there's hdrup. I think that worked on me once, but just try to keep away from there. Keep to HDR. You can also have many other options, pretty nice options there. Now, one sec, let me just select everything. Okay, so now another tool very useful is the ladder. This will I will go more in depth with another tutorial, but the tool, what it does is allows many other like it can allow anything to climb up it. You just have to go to it and tie it to an entity, which is func ladder. But also this also ties in with no draw, because no draw is a useful thing to use with the ladder, because you don't want all sides being able to be climbed, and only the side of the ladder texture on it will be climbed. But I'll include another tutorial on that. So another great tool, which I'm going to cover right now, which I don't have it in my map, and I didn't include it in the starting screen. If you go to browse and you type in infected, you will notice, actually I don't think it's infected, actually no it's not. Just type in climb and you see tools climb. This is an only infection climb. It will come up like when you start off your brush. Here, I'll actually I'll just kind of texture this. See, it's invisible, but I'm gonna just reselect this and paste it back on. That way it's ladder for everyone. But it actually makes it great. It's a great tool to use for for verses. Actually, when you use the verses one for verses. But anyway, so now that I covered ladder, now it's time for the triggers. The triggers are a great tool. Like, I use them in almost every single map. Triggers will trigger a certain thing if you step on it or anything like that. Trigger multiple, that is what I usually use. If you notice, I'm using a trigger multiple there, and what this will do is when one of the survivors stepped on it, you'll hear glass break from upstairs. Yet there won't be any glass breaking, which that'll trigger that. Anyway, so, and also, like, you can trigger, like, let's say if you want to put like a custom panic event just by stepping in a certain area, you can do that too. You can do anything with triggers. Actually, not anything, but you can do a lot of stuff. It has a lot of variety on it. Anyway, and as far as I know of, okay, so the blocking bullets is one tool, which I'm not using in this map, probably not yet. It'll block any bullets if a survivor tries to shoot at it. It'll just block every single bullet fired at it. So it makes it so it's a lot easier for like, let's say you're gonna have, like, I mean, people can still go through it. As far as I know, I don't know. I think they can, but they might not. But all I know is that it prevents any bullets from going through. Like, I had this one map where the survivors would start off like facing out a safe room door, and then some dude would be talking, and like kids start firing at them, and you can still get shot even if you go upstairs, because it was actually like in a cellar. So I just changed it, so I put a blocking bullet thing, and it's prevented that from happening. So anyway, it's a pretty good tool for certain things. It's not used in most maps, but it can be used wisely. So that's pretty much all that I'm going to be showing here, and I hope you enjoyed, or at least got some use out of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys later.